Hello, we're going to be mixing paints today with your children and make something called painted papers. These are the colors you're going to need. Wait, I lost my blue. There it is. Okay, you're going to need turquoise, magenta, and you can get the washable Crayola. I highly recommend Crayola. It's non-toxic. This cleans up really well. So if your kids get it, you know, in their hair, it's not that difficult to get out. And then yellow. You can also add white. The white will change the value of the colors that you're mixing. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a paper plate and you're going to make these color arrangements on the paper plate. Actually, when you start this, I want you to make 3 separate paper plates so the children get an idea of how each color combination mixes. So the first one, you can see I already did this, but it was magenta and yellow. So for the first plate, these are the only 2 colors you're going to put on, and you can also add white if you wish. The second plate, when you do the next combination, you don't have to do all of these in one day. Take your time, have fun with the kids, but the second one could be either the blue and magenta or the yellow and the turquoise and the yellow, or the turquoise and magenta. Until the children understand how these colors work together, I want you to keep the color palettes separate and give them to them one at a time. So for this first one, we're going to be mixing our paints. I think we'll do the turquoise and the magenta together. So you're going to need a paintbrush, and another thing, you won't need water, but you will need something to wipe your brush off. You will also need paper underneath. This itself will become a beautiful piece of painted paper when you're done after a few times of doing this. But you'll just need something to wipe your paintbrush off on, like a paper towel or the edge of the paper. And then you're just going to let the kids have fun. Now you can ask them things like, what color do you think these 2 colors will make together? Or you can ask them about what they think might make it lighter or darker. So they're just going to have fun using the brush in any safe way that they wish. They can mix their colors right here on the paper, or they can mix them on the plate. Either way is fine. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Let them experiment. Okay. You can add white in. Ask them what they think will happen when you do that. You can go different ways with your brush. Okay, so I'm going to speed up this process, and I will see you when I'm finished. Okay, now that you've finished with covering the bottom of your paper, you can use something called a paint cone. If you don't have this, don't worry. They're very simple to make with an old debit card or an old gift card. Just cut off, like keep this straight and use the scissors to cut in between the ends. You can make many different shapes, and then just let the kids make some texture on their paper by moving the comb over it. If you can't get your hands on a paint comb and you, for some reason, can't use one of these, the back of a paintbrush will work. You can scratch designs into your paper. Make some dots. Let the kids try different things. You can even, since this is washable and it's non-toxic because it's Crayola, you can even use a fork or kitchen utensils to see what kind of marks it will make on the paper. Another thing you can do while it's still wet is just dab on some of the color that we just used. Like you can push your paintbrush down You don't want to scrub the paintbrush back and forth. So make sure your children know that the paintbrush can land, but not scrub around on its tushy. It will ruin the paintbrush. All right, you can pick up some more of this color and double dip. Just put it right over the other paint color. And another thing I like to do is especially if the paper is very wet and very mushy, you can take an extra piece that you have that's not painted on yet, and you can lay it over the top. This is a kind of a printing. You're going to be making a mono print of your paper. So you just want to lay it down and then have the kids really give it a good mushing, a nice good rub all over the paper. And when you're done, just lift it up. This one won't be as vibrant, but you'll get other textures on it that you didn't get from the original one. Another thing you can do is use a contrasting color over the top of the painted paper when it's dry. You can see I put a little bit of turquoise on this. So here are some examples of papers that I've made that are ready for projects.